Hi, my name is Kenzie Garvin, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my family origin. First, I'd like to talk to you about where we're from. We're mostly from Northern Europe, like Germany, Sweden, and Ireland. And I'm not really sure when they came over, but I know for sure that at least one of my ancestors is from the colonial period because he was actually a bodyguard for George Washington. And my other ancestors were farmers, so they would move to the west for land or financial reasons. And actually, another fun fact is that my German side of the family, a lot of them changed their last names during World War II because they didn't want to be associated with the Germans. And then finally, we also have some North American heritage from a few tribes like the Cherokees and the Chickapoos. This is a photo taken in 1890 of my full-blood Cherokee great-great-grandmother, Mary Crow Flannery. As far as affiliations, most of my family attends church every Sunday, and a few of them are very involved in study groups, worship teams, and even volunteer groups. This is the church my family and I have attended for years, First Christian. As far as our ethnic background, we have a northern heritage of farming land with animals. My dad's side of the family actually had a dairy farm, and my mom's side has always raised cattle. And we also have North American traditions, but they weren't actually passed down throughout the family. As far as roles of women and myself as a daughter, we just follow the core values set by generations before us, like giving 100% in every aspect of our life, doing the best that we can be, and following those core values through our heart. And every family member has their own expectations of an ideal woman, so we're all unique, and that's what my family holds really high, is just being the person that you want to be and sticking to those core values. The 5 virtues that we value the most are faith, love, compassion, thankfulness, and trustworthiness. And holidays, we celebrate all the holidays: New Year's, Valentine's Day, Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. My family and I have a wide variety of health requirements, so it's different at each place that we go, but we do have the typical turkey dinner. And I would say all of our foods are connected to our ethnic roots because we're farming, so we have the garden produce. But we also celebrate the other like birthdays, anniversaries, graduation, and we also have family reunions. And I would say all of our holidays are very family oriented. And we do have a couple of special needs people in our family. My cousin Roman Carl, he was born with fetal alcohol syndrome, and physically he's underweight, and emotionally he does love alcohol because of that factor, and he's socially very slow to develop, and he actually does need medication to control his anger and all of his emotions. Another member is Avril, my cousin, and she was born with Down syndrome, so physically she looks normal except for obviously the facial features. This is a picture of my cousin April and her Down syndrome facial features. Both of the people in our family are very highly valued. They're always welcome, and we actually reach out to make them feel more important and loved. We all understand their needs, and we try to make accommodations to help them with their basic life essentials that they cannot do themselves, like changing the intensity of activities, things like that. And as family members, we don't necessarily feel sympathy for them, but we definitely do have the understanding that we need to accommodate and involve them as much as possible. And I'm actually lucky enough to have 2 great-grandparents that are still alive, my great-grandma Thulin and my great-grandma Garvin. I respect both of them a lot, but I've spent a lot more time with my great-grandma Garvin, and therefore I know a lot more about her. She is the role model of my life, and she still takes care of her whole entire yarn, which is 5 acres, at 90 years old. She's very involved in the community, especially the church. She considers everybody family, blood or not. And she just gives everything she has, physically and materially. I could go on and on and on about her. She's just an amazing person. Here's a picture of my beautiful great-grandma Garvin. After talking to my grandmother and mother, I found out that there are actually a lot of items that have been passed down throughout our family. And the one that I actually cherish the most is a birthstone ring from my great 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 grandma, who was born in October, the month that I was born. Some other items that we have, my grandma has a marriage license from her great great grandma and grandpa, and she also has papers that date back to the early 1800s of relatives in her family purchasing land during the Louisiana Purchase. And she also has two paintings that President Eisenhower painted, that are of Lincoln and Washington, and they were actually given to my grandma's great aunt. This is a picture of the paintings that Eisenhower gave to my aunt. Lastly, I'd like to share with you a few names that have been handed down during the generations. The most important one is the middle name Lee. It's been handed down for 5 generations, my great-grandpa all the way down to my brother. And a few other middle names that are popular are Washington, Lewis, and Charles. And then as far as women, I have May, Belle, Anne, and Andrew. And then finally, I would like to end my Family Origins video with a couple pictures of my family. Here's a picture of my dad's side of the family, as well as a picture of my mom's large side of the family. Thank you for watching.